So you're starting a YouTube channel, or maybe you already started one and you're looking for some tips on how to improve. I rounded up 8 of my favorite creators to tell you what they wish they knew when they started their channels, so you don't have to learn the hard way. Let's ramble.
Hold up, face go wild when I pull up. They all on me like it once.
Hey, what's up guys? It's great to see you all again. And if you're new here, I'm Patrick and this is where I ramble about tech and other stuff. And today we're definitely talking about other stuff, but this is a video I've been wanting to make for a long time now. Starting a YouTube channel can be very challenging and a lot of mistakes can be made, and trust me, I made them all and I still do. But that's okay, making mistakes is totally fine and it will only help you get better in your creative process. But what has helped me tremendously is learning from other creators and their mistakes. So grab a notepad and listen to these amazing creators talk about the mistakes they made along their journeys so you don't have to. The first creator is someone I have personally learned a lot from. His channel is geared towards helping other creators figure out how to find and use the best lighting, audio, and other equipment, as well as being potentially the internet's best resource for dad jokes. Tom Buck.
Hi, my name is Tom, and when it comes to things I wish I knew when starting YouTube, it's sort of a tough question to answer because I believe that everybody's YouTube experience, everybody's YouTube journey is unique. You can't spell unique or YouTube without you. And so a lot of the mistakes and the things you learn along the way are the things that actually help you to be better. So it's almost like you need to make them. But something that really helped me was not being overwhelmed by gear and equipment. Prior to starting YouTube, I had experience with cameras and audio and lighting and production and all that stuff. And that really stopped me from getting started because I wanted everything to be perfect and to be technically correct and all this stuff. And I've seen the opposite be true for people who have no experience with this kind of stuff. They feel like they need to learn everything and get a whole bunch of gear before they can get started. And the only YouTube regret that I have is not getting started sooner. What I ended up doing, which actually worked really well, is I got a point and shoot camera. This is the Sony RX100 Mark V. It's several years old, but it's pretty similar to the Sony ZV-1, which is still currently out. But the first 6 months of my channel were shot pretty much entirely just on this camera with the built-in microphone, using no studio lighting, just available window lighting, the sun, whatever it might be. It helped me to be comfortable with things being imperfect. It helped me to speed up my workflow, helped me to get comfortable with the YouTube platform. And after about 6 months of doing that, that's when I started then bringing in more of the traditional stuff. I started investing in video lights, I started getting better audio, started switching to using a camera with an interchangeable lens, and then it just sort of evolved and grew over time. Everybody's workflow is different, so just going out and buying the gear of your favorite YouTuber is probably not the best thing to do, especially for your bank account. Starting simple and just getting things out there is the best way to begin, and then you can build and refine your equipment list and your technical skills as your specific needs become apparent over time. And speaking of things that are apparent, did you know that a regular joke becomes a dad joke when it becomes apparent?
Thanks, Tom. I think I didn't overpromise on the dad jokes there. Tom touched upon an important point there, which is the ongoing discussion on whether gear matters. You will find very diverging opinions depending on who you ask. I personally believe gear does matter in improving your overall production quality down the line, but gear should never be the reason for you not to get started. Most smartphones have decent cameras these days, and all you need then is a window to light yourself and maybe a $20 lav mic to plug into your phone, and that's enough to get you started. This next creator is Jeff, better known as El Jefe Reviews, and he is the go-to source for everything headphones and earbuds related, and he does a lot of work with other creators to help them grow. So I'm happy he's sharing some of that knowledge with us today. Thank you, Jeff.
One thing I wish I knew when I first started my channel was to focus on a target audience. My first year on YouTube was spent making all types of videos, but not really gaining any kind of traction. I knew I wanted to have a tech channel, but I didn't know exactly what kind of tech I would focus on because I'm into so many different things. Then I heard about niching your channel and focusing on a specific topic. It took a bit of research. I had to see what potential there was for a channel about this topic and whether or not there really was an an audience for channels focused solely on headphones and earbuds. Luckily enough, I found a few channels that were performing quite well in the space, but at the same time, there weren't too many of them. It was a perfect opportunity for me. As soon as I began to focus on this topic aimed at the headphone enthusiast viewer specifically, things began to change. Views started picking up on my videos and my subscriber base started to grow. Then the rest is history. You have El Jefe Reviews. Now, I'm not saying that it's not possible to grow a channel based around multiple topics, but my advice for any creator that's just getting started would be to focus on 1 to 3 topics that are extremely closely related. We have to change our mindset and think of YouTube from the perspective of a viewer and what they want to watch, as opposed to the mindset of a content creator and the content that we would want to make. We have to find that middle ground that works for both parties. Make content that people actually want to watch that also happens to be content that you're happy to make. This last part is just as important as the first part. The passion for the topic that you talk about is what will get you through those days where you don't even want to turn on the camera. Now, with all of that said, I want to give a huge thank you to Patrick for bringing me into this collaboration project. Much appreciated, brother. Everybody, have an awesome day. Peace.
Thank you, Jeff, and what an excellent point. It is so easy to get lost in making random videos. I started a tech channel because I love talking about everything tech, but that doesn't mean my viewers want to hear about everything tech. It can be very confusing if you're talking about an iPhone one day and a vacuum cleaner the next. It wasn't until I started really narrowing down my subjects to what I knew my audience likes, which in my case is Apple stuff, that my channel really started to take off. Now, that obviously doesn't mean you can't ever talk about anything else, but especially when you're just getting started, it's very important to make it super easy for new viewers to understand what your channel is about so they can decide whether they want to see more of it and subscribe. This next dude is a channel that I love watching myself. He's all about cameras, Apple tech, and just overall swag. He's also hopped up on energy drinks 24/7. Here's Johnny Hochstetler, better known as Jayhawk.
Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Johnny and I have been on this YouTube journey now for a couple years. And one thing I wish I knew when I first started out is just how important it is to be present on other social media platforms. Now, getting discovered on YouTube is definitely possible, but if you can help drive traffic from all these different sources, it definitely helps out. So these days I am talking Instagram, Instagram stories, Instagram Reels, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. If you can post content there, post there and drive traffic to your new YouTube videos, or at least YouTube channel in general. It's something that I've personally really been focusing on over the past couple months, and I have definitely seen a difference in my YouTube content whenever I am posting on these other platforms and helping to drive traffic to my latest YouTube videos. So try it out for yourself. I don't think you'll be disappointed, and shout out to Patrick for having me be part of this video. Thank you, man.
Thanks, Johnny. Now that is some solid advice I wish I knew when I got started, because I focused so much on YouTube that I completely neglected other social media like Twitter and Instagram. And not only can those platforms drive more traffic to YouTube, but having a solid following on those platforms will also make you more interesting to potential sponsors later on, because you can offer them some exposure on all of those platforms as opposed to just YouTube. Plus, those platforms are a great place to casually hang out with your subscribers. So guys, if you're not following me on Twitter or Instagram, now would be a good time. This next creator has his fingers in so many pies. He has a YouTube channel as well as running his own creative company, and he's the host of an excellent podcast, one that I've had the pleasure of being a guest on. It's called The Hive Podcast, and it is full of golden nuggets for creators like you and me. So definitely check that out. I'll link it below the video along with all the channel links of every creator you see in this video.
What did I wish I knew when I started a YouTube channel? There is so much that goes into having a YouTube channel. I wish I knew going into it how much work it really was. We all hear that we just need to start, just hit record, and that's a good place to start. But there's a lot more to it than that, and I wish I knew exactly how much work it really was. So I wish I had set up processes at the very beginning to make it easier to just start, to hit that record button. Because creating videos, for me at least, can be stressful at times when you're trying to pump out a video. So create your own schedule and set up processes that are going to make it easier for you to pump out content and pump out the videos that you want to make. So my advice, if you have the space to do it, set up an area where you're going to make your videos. Just have it all set up all the time so it's easy just to hit that record button, and create a schedule. You know, you don't have to film your entire video and edit it and release it all in one day. For me, I will record the talking head portion in one day. Then I'll record the B-roll another day. Then I'll edit another day. And then even after that, then I'll release, because I'll have time to reflect back on the video, whether I like it, whether I need to add some stuff to it. So give yourself plenty of time. So my biggest advice, stuff I wish I knew, plan more. Have a space set up to actually make your videos and leave it set up so it's a lot easier, and kind of just have processes in place to make it less stressful to pump out videos.
Thanks, Jared, and excellent points. We all know those creative juices come and go, and if you're feeling creative and you're excited about getting in front of the camera to talk about it, the last thing you want to be doing is scrambling for 30 minutes to set everything up. That process can be so frustrating at times that it kills all of your creative energy. So setting up a little nook in your house that you just leave up and hit record whenever you're feeling creative is a fantastic piece of advice. This next guy is a close friend of mine. We started our YouTube journeys pretty much the same time, and it's been amazing bouncing ideas back and forth. He makes great content with a good dose of humor. Here's Alex from Alex Gear and Tech.
Hey Patrick, I really wish I knew before I started creating videos that it was better to invest in treating my space for audio rather than spending a lot of money on expensive microphones. Before I even had 100 subscribers, I bought the Shure SM7B microphone without knowing anything about it. Now I know this is probably one of the best microphones out there, but without doing anything to improve the audio in my space, the result was hours and hours of me trying to remove unwanted noise and reverb from my videos. I would have been much better off with a less expensive microphone, but still with good quality, and investing in some decent sound panels instead. I realized how naive I was by spending so much money on a microphone like this than using those cheap egg crate type sound panels. What was I thinking, right? I now use 3 of these large professional acoustic panels in my space, which have made a world of difference and really complement the quality of this microphone. And hey, it's not perfect yet, but it saved me a ton of time in my editing workflow. Thanks so much for having me, Patrick, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Oh man, I couldn't agree more. And audio is one of the hardest things to get right. Having a good mic definitely helps, but if your room isn't treated, even the best mic will still have a lot of reverb and it will sound like you're talking in a large bathroom. And don't worry about investing in expensive sound treatment right off the bat. Try putting some extra furniture, some carpet, a few pillows here and there, and you'll be surprised about the difference that actually makes to your audio. Plus, you can fix a lot of audio in post-production, so it is definitely worthwhile spending some time learning an editing program. There's excellent free ones like Audacity, so no need to purchase Adobe Audition just yet. This next creator is another friend of mine and a fellow tech YouTuber. You might know him as RJ Tech.
Here's what I wish I knew before starting a YouTube channel. Ultimately, it does depend on your niche, but for a tech YouTube channel, I do feel like gear does matter. You hear this all the time, gear doesn't matter, just use your phone and start a YouTube channel. And to be quite honest with you, if your niche is in tech, you should be more than good enough to go with just a phone and a decent microphone. But if you do want to start a tech channel and you do want to stand out, I do recommend investing in a DSLR, some good studio lights, and a high-end microphone. Because at the end of the day, the type of audience you're trying to attract is a tech-based audience. They are an audience that have come to expect high-quality videos, because that's the industry standard set by other top-tier tech YouTubers. And if you do want to compete for a piece of that market share, you do have to deliver on high-quality content to get those subscriptions. So once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I invested in a $3,000 camera setup, along with a $200 microphone and some decent lights from Amazon. Now I feel like I'm armed with the equipment that I need to compete in my niche. And growing my channel is primarily based on my work ethic and how many videos I can pump out in a given month. So yeah, before starting a YouTube channel, I wish I knew that gear does matter to a certain extent.
Thanks, RJ, and this is a prime example of the discussion, does gear matter, yes or no? I think RJ's point is spot on. Start with what you have, even if it's just a phone, and gradually improve your setup as you grow your channel. My best advice would always be to invest everything back into your channel, especially at the beginning, and deliver the best possible quality you can afford. And then you'll see your production quality improve, and your channel will grow along with that, which will enable you to slowly build upon that and improve your setup more. This next guy is a vlogger and an entertainer. He's a burst of energy, and if you're not feeling creative, I challenge you to watch this guy's videos and tell me you don't want to start recording right away. It's Sky.
Yo, PR, what's up, man? It's Sky. Dude, you caught me at the Cube houses, you know, doing what thugs do. And man, I would have to say the one thing that I wish I knew before I started YouTube was how important having a support system is. Because basically when you're doing this whole YouTube thing, it's like you a boss. You're the editor, producer, director, you everybody. And now I know we thugs and everything, but thugs is lonely too. Having that support system really, really helps. Whether it's your friends, family, or even other creators. Just somebody to talk to about the journey, bounce ideas off of, whatever. Have a support system. Don't be afraid to tell people what you're up to. Don't be afraid to reach out to other creators. Just having someone to talk to throughout this whole journey makes it worth it. And if I'm being real, sometimes without it, we tend to get lost in the sauce. That is something that your boy Sky Money wish he knew before he started. And look, if you just can't find nobody to talk to, look, hit your boy Sky up. I'll be there.
What did I say? And what an excellent point too. YouTube can be a very lonely place. Most of the time it's just you and your camera. And of course you can talk to your family, but unless they're also YouTubers, you'll be getting on their nerves pretty quickly. The single best thing I've done for myself is to find a group of fellow YouTubers that I talk to every day. I share ideas with them, we talk about some of the difficulties, and I cannot tell you how much more fun this has made the whole creative process for me. YouTube is so much more than just filming and uploading videos. There is a community behind it, and I really advise you to become a part of it. Be an active member, engage with other creators, and just enjoy the process with people that know exactly what you're talking about. This next creator is one of the channels I used to watch before I started my own channel because I was really into desk setups and design ideas, and his channel is one of the most aesthetically pleasing ones out there. If you don't know him, I recommend checking out his channel because you'll find some amazing advice about how to organize your office and your studio. Here's Michael Soledad.
The one thing that I wish I knew before I started my YouTube channel, that would be, it was completely unnecessary for me to spend so much time researching for the best gear. Because I think it's a common mistake for people to want the very best, right out of the gate. So I spent so much time looking for the perfect camera, the perfect lens, the perfect audio setup, and even the perfect lighting. Unfortunately, I wasn't even able to use most of them because it just didn't suit my shooting needs at that time. So if I knew that, it would have saved me a lot of headache and money, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, the reality is basically you'll learn as you go along. So the important thing is for you to just start as soon as you can so that you can understand what it is that you actually need and you can just upgrade accordingly.
Thank you, Michael. Guys, as you can see, there is a common thread throughout the video about gear. So to sum it up for you, don't wait. Just get started with what you have. Improve the quality of your videos as soon as you can afford it. Try to set up a dedicated space, even if it's just a corner in your house. Niche down, decide what your focus will be, and really nail that content. Don't forget about other social media and their potential in driving traffic to your YouTube channel. Master the gear that you have before you invest in new gear, and be a part of the YouTube community. Trust me, it will make everything easier and much, much more enjoyable. Guys, I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.